AJ, you want to maybe just tell us about your last shot, the three?
I mean, I just saw the mismatch, you know. I mean, like, well, a guard and a big, not necessarily saying he's a mismatch. And honestly, I was looking for Cedric Casimir, you know, because he hit the last couple shots and stuff like that. But once Dave set the pick and stuff like that, and I seen they were trying to help with Dave. Like, he had stories on him, and I tried to look for him, and he wasn't open. He just coach looked at me and just told me to go. So I mean, just hours in the gym, you know, you take that shot, you know. So I mean, I just thank God it went in. I just try to help my father. It went in.
AJ, you started off the game hot with 11 points in the first 8 minutes, and with this electric crowd, how are you able to channel them out and just score?
I mean, you know, the great guys, a great coach and a great organization and stuff like that. But I mean, at the end of the day, it's still just basketball, you know what I mean? So whether you're at home at the park, I'm at home at the park playing, or at Manhattan, it don't really make no difference to me, you know, like, no shots to Manhattan, but just like, really, I mean, it's a great, I love this game, you know, stuff like that, a lot of intensity. It feels like a high major game, you know, like when we go and play Kansas or like Arkansas and stuff like that with the crowd, and they have a great crowd and stuff like that. So I mean, really just I try to come out and try to set the tone. You know, early in the game, coach really came to me, like, you really try to set the tone for the guys, for the new guys that haven't been here, haven't seen this, you know, this intensity on this level, like, and stuff like that. So I mean, I knew I make a couple shots and stuff like that, try to talk, you know, a little trash for us, like, you know, to show them that we're here and stuff like that. I knew everybody else was going to follow through.
AJ, this game, to win the game like you did, does it hold any special meaning for you, considering the last time you played them was, you know, last March?
I mean, like, winning any game, you know, of course it was special meaning for me, you know, like, I feel like it wasn't no difference really from, like, I made a free throw at Niagara, you know, early in the season and stuff like that, and I mean, then the pass to St. Peter's, the Cowboys, the best, you know, like, the sending overtime. I mean, it's just, of course, like, not downplaying this great rivalry and stuff like that, but I mean, I feel like any shot, you know, like I said at the park before, you want to win, you want to stay on the court, and it's like tied up, you know, game point, you try to hit the shot to stay on the court. So I mean, any shot, you know, make it for me.
Cedric, this is your first one of these games, Manhattan game. Certainly seemed like you felt pretty comfortable out there. Talk about kind of your experience playing here.
I just heard a lot about the game, but I mean, and nothing like the Manhattan crowd. I mean, this is my first one, so it was really exciting for me. But I wasn't really too nervous because my teammates told me to relax and just be aggressive and play my game. So I felt pretty comfortable out there.
AJ, how did you think he did?
Great. I told him, I mean, I already know, you know, first time he came in the gym, you know, not the first time he was in the gym, like, I had seen him play first, you know, like, he was kind of little and stuff, but I mean, once I saw him play, you know, and how he scored the basketball so effortlessly, and I looked at his highlights when he was at South Kent on YouTube and stuff, and I'm like, oh, this kid, you know, he's amazing and stuff like that. So I mean, like, I knew once he saw one go in that he was gonna be fine. Like, he's a great scorer, and y'all gonna have a little treat for watching the next couple of years.
AJ, how would you describe the impact of right after Manhattan makes a great play and gets the lead, you guys drill them right back?
I mean, it's basketball, you know, the game is built off of runs and stuff like that. So I mean, basically we just try to keep a composure, and like in practice we play a high intensity, you know, we up and down the floor. So like before you know it, like a 10-point lead could turn to you've been down 10 and stuff like that. Like I said, playing Manhattan, you know, it's a great team. So we already said, coach already explained to us, like, they're gonna, well, if we punch them in the mouth, they're gonna punch us in the mouth right back. So you gotta be ready to, you know, throw another punch and stay up. So I mean, that's really what we try to keep our composure, you know, got it down the floor, and guys are ready to make the shot, you know, put it that way.
Let me try one more time. You know, they only had the lead for just a split second. Do you think that Manhattan would have been harder to beat if they'd held the lead for longer?
I mean, probably any basketball game, you know, it's like if you're down the whole game, it'll be harder, you know, because it's like you're trying to get over that hump the whole game. You can't look up at that scoreboard and see that you had the lead. So I mean, like, man, like I said, man, has a great team. So like being down to them, you know, like we saw in the tournament in the second half, you know, like last year, we were down and we got the lead back, but it was like the whole game, it was like, I feel like they were controlling the pace of the game and stuff like that. And like, that day, you know, a great team.
Was this a game that you circled on your calendar, being that they beat you all to get into the NCAA tournament? Was this a game that you were like looking down the road and saying, okay, we want to get them, so we, basically you have like Manhattan College, at Manhattan College, I mean, you had that, like that game like in bold letters?
I mean, not necessarily, you know, I mean, every MAC team is a great team, you know, in my opinion, you know, I have great coaches and stuff like that. I feel like it's an underrated conference. And like, I know guys that play at bigger schools and bigger conferences, and they always say when they play a MAC team that they play them tough, you know, no matter who it is. I feel like that everybody else might circle it on their calendar, so then it brings, you know, like to our attention. But I mean, like you gotta take every game by game, you know, because I mean we could be 0 and 20, you know, and if you circle that on the calendar, it's like for what, you know. But I mean, of course, you know, you want to circle it because it's a rivalry and stuff like that. And then yeah, of course, I don't want to say I don't want to downplay it, but I mean, it's a great game, you know. Just it's a game that you look forward to, just like every other MAC game, you know.
AJ, that moment, you know, high game, you know, half a minute left, huge crowd, the crowd's, you know, as loud as can be. What was that, put the words, what that was like for you, that moment, to hit that shot, that all the atmosphere going on national TV?
I mean, honestly, I don't really get caught up in the moments like that. I'm from Delaware, it's a small state, so we don't really see this like every single day, you know. So it's like, I don't want to say this is like boring or anything, but it's just like, you know, I just work hard, you know. I try to do what Coach Cruz tells me to do and stuff like that, and I put hours and hours in the gym. So I mean, if you're doing well and stuff like that, you have two great coaches on a coach, and then of course they're gonna bring that type of attention and stuff like that in the media and the crowd and stuff like that. So I'm just thankful I got to get to play for Coach Cruz and get to play.
AJ, what about after 18 NBA scouts here? Did you want to kind of show them what you can do?
I mean, I don't worry about that. Like, to be honest, you know, like I said, being from a small state, we don't really have a lot of pros. I mean, thankful my dad, you know, got to make me come in. Like I really don't. Like I said, they're watching me play at the park or watching me play at Manhattan. I don't. It really doesn't matter to me. You know, I just try to win games at the end of the day. Like, and going to the NBA and stuff, and like winning this is more important to me than making sure my guys, you know, get to try to win a good 10 for a national title.
Cedric, I'm sure you talked about this already with the crowd, but there was one point where Manhattan was answering you guys right back, and then you'd come back with a big basket, and you looked like, you know, you had a stone expression on your face. You really weren't bothered at all. How did the crowd impact you today?
Honestly, the crowd really, I mean, it was an exciting crowd. It lived up to the hype, but it didn't impact me because in practice we run so much, I don't even have time to even look at the crowd. So when the basket goes in, I'm already trying to sprint my lane. So I can't even look at what he's saying in the crowd, or I'm just sprint my lane already. Before you know it, I had the ball. I was shooting.
Cedric, did you feel like, you know, Dave was really struggling tonight? And then obviously Keldon was out for a long stretch in the first half after he got the cut over his eye. Did you feel like you had to kind of step up and provide some assistance for AJ?
My teammates always tell me to be aggressive, you know, whether Dave's scoring or not. You know, all of us try to do stuff, like when our shot's not going, we try to do stuff that doesn't show up on the stat sheet. So.
Anything else for these guys?
AJ, they pressure a ton and they play really aggressively. What was it like playing against that defense?
I mean, it's great, you know, but we also pressure too, like, so like we go against in practice and stuff like that, and like going back to what you said with Dave, you know, I mean, Dave is our best player, you know, and he's the best mismatch on the team, you know, one of the top bigs, not the top big in the country, in my opinion. So I mean, really, they were doubling down with him and stuff like that. So we already knew, like, with his passing ability and stuff like that, he was going to get everybody else open. And just Dave walking into the gym, you know, is automatically going to draw attention to him, you know. So I mean, I feel like we were not necessarily using him as a decoy, but we already knew, like in my opinion, Dave had a great, not necessarily scoring wise, but you know, just him being on the floor and being, you know, handling the ball, like you don't see a 6'9", you know, 200 whatever pound guy just handling the ball like as much as he does.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.